Welcome back to another Alliance War. For Loki, we are currently ranked 6 going into the 9th War of Season 7, and our opponents are none other than MMXIV. Go ahead and take a look at that Alliance rating, 40.7 million. Oh my god, so high. And this war is my worst war across multiple seasons, and probably my most expensive war of all time, and probably the most expensive by far, and you're going to see why as this war goes on. Now take a look at my team that I'm bringing in here. It's pretty standard, other than I did bring in Killmonger instead of Blade, so I'm not going to have those 3 poise charges. And this war is the perfect example, in case you were ever wondering why I choose to bring Blade over Killmonger. You're going to see. You're going to see a couple of times throughout this war. So I go ahead and pop this advanced power boost. I am boosted to the teeth, man, as big as you could possibly boost up here. And I'm actually fighting a Blade, turns out. So I'm going to try to build up a few poise charges, get a couple poise charges going. Wish I could have gotten more, but you know, due to that aggression fury node, the damage stacks up really quickly, so you don't really have time to build those poise charges. I'm up to 3 at the moment, and because of the advanced power boost, I get to pop my special 2 after I evade this this L1, bait out another opening, get the L2 with 3 poise charges, nothing crits. Now, that would have killed him if I had the Blade synergy, but watch what happens after this. So, he's going to launch a heavy attack from a pretty good distance away from me, and I wasn't expecting it, right? Normally the enemy has to be pretty close to you when they launch that heavy attack, but you know, I felt like I had a dash back of distance on him, and still, man, he wound up that heavy attack. I didn't see it coming, hit me from downtown, and this is a really rough start to this war. So before going into this war, it was decided that I would be taking the final boss, which is a Thing. Thing's still pretty new to the contest. You know, I'm even uploading this video a few days after the fact, so this was really like the, you know, one of the first or maybe second time that we've seen him as the boss or something like that. And you know, I figured, hey, let's try Void. I think Void can get the job done. I did upload my attempt versus that Thing boss separately, but yeah, we're gonna really go through the entire war here. And basically, yeah, I you know, having to use that many items already was pretty rough, because I know I'm going to need to use items throughout the rest of this war as well, and if I can't make it to that final Void, I'm sorry, the final Thing boss with full HP, then yeah, I mean, it's kind of defeating the purpose of bringing in this Killmonger, because I wanted to have full HP plus the healing from the Killmonger, then I would have been good to go. But alright, in any case, next node up is the Bane Stun Immune, and this is just a 5-star Venom. This fight, pretty cut and dry, pretty standard fight, just, you know, trying to bait out specials. I could have played it a little bit slower here, maybe, to you know, not push his power meter so high, but you know, otherwise I got some pretty good Bane transfers in. I'm really trying to contain him to a level 1 special, don't want to push him to that level 2. So finally throws the level 1, I get Bane transferred over once again, and from here the fight is pretty much done. This is one of the few good fights of this war, and Venom goes down. Alright, next node up, have ourselves a 5-star tech champion on this Limber Buffet recovery node, and this is actually going to be a Dark Hawk. And the mistakes continue in this fight against this Dark Hawk. Basically, you know, his L1, you can evade the last hit of it, but it's a little bit inconsistent. I feel like the timing, the window on it is very tight. And, you know, somewhere in this fight, I just pull the trigger on the evade too early, and I get hit, and that kind of messes me up a little bit. But before we get to that, you know, the way I approach this fight is I don't mind throwing the special ones to put him in that shielding phase. It doesn't last that long, and all I have to do is stall a little bit, and you know, that allows me to get that extra debuff on him. I do get clipped there, which is unfortunate, but that didn't deal that much damage. Here's the problem, though. I got stunned by mistiming that evade, and I get a few more hits on myself. So now my health pool is not only is it pretty far down, but you know, I'm backed up a little bit towards the left side of the screen where I don't want to be. And the last thing I want to do against Darkhawk is push him to that special 2. I don't want to deal with his special 2. I don't want to deal with his invisibility or whatever it's called that's going to allow me to miss. I don't know if it's invis with him or something else. Looks like he's invisible, but maybe that's a different name. In any case, really trying to avoid pushing him to that special 2. I'm fine just tanking these special ones. You can see they don't deal all that much damage. You just stand there and block them. Really not that big of a deal. At this point, I'm holding on to my special 3 just in case I need to use that to get myself out of the wall. And I already have Fear of the Void up, so the fight is pretty much under control at this point. Those few mistakes early on, it really sucked because, I'm thinking, okay, that's more potions that I have to be using, and I already know that the rest of my path is is still very tough, right? So each little hit that I'm taking, I just know I'm getting closer and closer to iteming out, and I really don't want that to happen. So, but we get through that fight, and we move on to the mini boss, which is a Domino. Hate fighting Dominoes. Haven't fought that many this season. I kind of learned how to fight Domino last season, where it seemed like I was fighting her practically every war. And this season I really haven't fought her all that much. But got a Domino today. So I'm going to go ahead and pop one potion into Stark Spidey. You can see this is going to put me at only 7 items left here. And that's what I'm talking about. Of like, man, am I going to item out? Am I going to be able to get to the boss at full HP? I don't exactly know. But anyway, we go into this this Domino fight. I will be using Stark Spidey. Because I don't have that blade synergy, I am going to pop another advanced power boost just to give myself that starting bar of power, and hopefully I can get a few poise charges early on into the fight. Hit her with an L2. Hopefully I get some good crits, get a decent amount of power back, and just hit her with another L2 real quick. That was the goal. Now watch what actually happens. First off, I do get a critical failure. I don't think in the beginning it stopped one of my poise charges, but you're gonna see at some point here I actually don't get a poise charge off it right there. That should have been a poise charge, but I didn't get one, so that sucked. And by the time I get to my L2, like everything's going all right at this point. I'm gonna bait out a special here in a moment, and then I feel like I need more poise charges. But I do have my L2 pretty much ready to go as soon as I get a couple more poise charges. I just had to launch it right there just because I was about to get to a special 3, really. But you can see that didn't do enough damage, right? And now watch this. Now you can see the unfazed mastery is kicking in, where she goes unstoppable. And that is not the last time she's going to go unstoppable. I'm backed against the wall, so I feel like I had to go in at that point. Unfortunately, she does evade, so my L2 does not connect there. And yeah, this fight is quickly getting out of control, and she's gonna go unstoppable again. Unfazed is going to kick in again in a moment here. I really need to bait out this special 2. I mean, you can see my health pool. I feel like there's no chance of me winning this fight, but I want to get her as low as possible at least. She went unstoppable there. I got pretty lucky that she didn't punish me because I just went in for the attack. Had to throw my special 1 there. I feel like I was going to die if I didn't throw it. Honestly, I probably should have just popped my special 1 again right there just to get as much damage in as possible. But I was really trying to hold out for a special 2, just hoping that I can get to a special 2. She goes unfazed once again. I hate the fact that Stark Spidey has that auto evade. I did not need auto evade to trigger for me to dexterity, her medium dash attack there. That was, oh man, so frustrating sometimes playing these champions that evade, and with that unfazed, that does finish me off. So after that death, I felt like I couldn't heal myself up to full, not when I was all boosted like that. I was definitely going to item out, and I was still trying to play this game of maybe I can get to the boss. So I actually waited for all of my boosts to drop off, and then were the big boy boosts, man. I waited for them to drop off. I used my potions. I reboost back up, and at this point I'm thinking, you know what, I got to go in with Void. I have to go with Void. She's missing some life. If I can just try to control the fight so that I don't trigger dexterity on myself. She won't heal up, and it shouldn't be that difficult to finish out with Void. I won't have to bait out that many specials. I pop another advanced power boost. Oh man, so many boosts being used this war. It's insane. But yeah, we go in here with Void. And, you know, like I said, I'm just really trying to not trigger dexterity on myself, trying to get the debuffs going as quickly as possible. And finally I catch a little bit of a break here where I get Petrify in the first debuff and Petrify on the second debuff. So now I can trigger dexterity. Now it doesn't matter. She's not going to be healing. In fact, it's going to be inflicting damage anytime I gain that dexterity. She does throw the L1, which is nice. I don't have to worry about, you know, trying to bait out a special or risking going to that special 3, because I guarantee I will die if she gets her special 3. And at this point, you know, I've got a bunch of debuffs. I'm actually a little bit worried that the debuffs are coming too quickly and that Fear of the Void is going to fail to trigger, but boom, she hits the ground on that dexterity right there. So Domino's down, but man, like I'm in this rough spot. Actually, before I fought that Domino fight, I switched around my masteries to put extra points into Scouter Lens, so I knew that this was going to be a Korg coming up, which just amplified things, made things that much worse. So I'm down to 2 items left after this fight, and I'm still, man, at this point I'm thinking there's no way that I'm actually taking the boss. I just want to get through my path. That's the only thing that I'm actually concerned about. At this point, I basically said in my alliance chat, like, man, I'm not fighting the boss. I just need to get through my path. So we got this 565 Korg here, and of course I'm going to be taking a bunch of damage. So I pop that regen boost, and I'm going to try to. I mean, I already know, like, the way I fight Korg, I don't really try to minimize the damage that I take on the medium attacks going in. I just kind of deal with it, bait out the heavy attacks, and that's how I handle Korg fights. Starts out fine, get a couple of debuffs. Unfortunately, it's the same debuff, so the damage, you know, is not stacking like I'd want it to, but, you know, what can you do? Got to bait out this special 2 here, trying my best to not trigger dexterity, but I do trigger dexterity. So, yeah, I am going to have to deal with an unblockable L1 if he ever throws that L1. I'm a little bit worried about him just throwing the special 2. Finally, he does throw it, and I'm able to get an opening in, which was nice. I didn't have to use a medium attack to get that attack in either. But yeah, at this point, rock shields are almost back down. His charges fell off, so I didn't have to, you know, deal with the unblockable L1. I should have punished the L1 though, evading the last hit, but I didn't. In any case, rock shields down. Throw the L2 because I had too much power. It didn't work out with the timing on the L1s, but the fight's still going all right. If I could take out these rock shield charges again, you know, I'm not missing that much health. I can launch my special 1. Luckily, he didn't gain any additional rock charges off of Resonate or anything like that this time around. And yeah, he's starting to go down. Fear of the Void is going to be up in just a moment, and you can see he's starting to melt, at least starting to melt. So we'll have Fear of the Void, and in a second here, launch another special, and yeah, now the damage is really starting to tick. You can see a couple of 900 ticks, 901, 300. This guy's going down. At this point, I feel like the fight's under control. I'm a little bit relieved that you know, I didn't have too hard of a time with this Korg. Otherwise, with the amount of items that I used this war, I really would have been scared about finishing my path, but that was a big relief to get through that Korg after those couple of other deaths this war. Alright, then we pull up to this Science node, 455 Science Champion, and I'm looking at the stats, and I'm like, these stats don't look familiar. Who the heck is this? Normally I see like a low stat Science Champion here. It'll be Wasp or Spidey or something like that, and I actually run the stats through the calculator, and I see that it's Thing. There is a Thing on this node, and at this point I haven't practiced the Thing fight, but I had a 3-minute boost on. I had the regen boost on. I'm thinking, man, I better just go. I really better just go, take advantage of this boost. You know, hopefully this Thing fight will be okay. At least I fought him through the monthly event quest, but you can see this fight is going to be a bit rough. You know, like I said, this is before I practiced. I was going to wait until after I finished my normal path before I started practicing against Thing for the final boss. And yeah, I'm stalling the fight as best I can just because I don't want to deal with any of his abilities. But yeah, I need him to throw the special, otherwise, you know, I can't attack into him at this point. Finally, he throws his special. It's unblockable. I eat the damage. It's whatever. It doesn't even hit that hard. That's the nice thing about fighting Thing. on a non-boss node, his specials really don't deal that much damage. So it's really not that big of a deal as long as he's throwing them. So the fight, although I'm getting hit a bunch, my health is still pretty high, which is good because yeah, I don't have any more items to use, and I still do have one more fight after this to go, or at least so I thought. I'm actually gonna have 2 more fights after this. Pushing him back a little bit. You know, it's the best way to fight Thing on pretty much any node is really just to find openings to attack into his block. You know, it's something that I practiced after this fight was over, so I got better at it. But yeah, this was just that first time I had to hop in here, and I do take Thing down. You know, happy that fight is over with. Have one more fight to go on my normal path. But there will be some boss action afterwards if you did not already see my my standalone boss video. Alright, so this is a 6-star Kingpin, and fortunately my Stark Spidey is at full health or very close to it from the team potions that I was using. And we could just go in here with Stark Spidey. I don't have the 3 poise charges from Blade, but that's not that big of a deal. You know, this champion was actually placed with suicides, so although unfortunately for me, they did shrug off the poison, which would have been nice if that poison could have stuck. But you know, just knowing that there's suicides on this champion, I'm not really trying to build up my poise charges all that much. I don't even want to risk getting into the corner. I just want recoil to do most of the work here for me. So, you know, really just that's my focus, is just trying to continuously push Kingpin over a bar of power. This is the strike back node, so I don't really want to throw my special at all. I do not want to push Kingpin to a special 2. That's the worst thing you could do. Kingpin special 2 is a little bit annoying to evade. You know, Stark Spidey might auto-evade it, but yeah, I'm not taking that risk. That recoil is putting in some serious work for me here. And one more special, and then a 5-hit combo, and Kingpin goes down. Now, I thought that was it. I thought that was it for my war. I thought that was it for my contributions to this war. I thought because of how poorly I did, you know, I wasn't going to be able to take the boss, but I actually ended with decent health on my Void. And we figured, you know, I was practicing and everything like that. I still might be the best option for this fight. So I actually boost up again. That's right, 3 rounds of the big boy boost here. Oh my god, so painful. I need a special offer to come around for some discounted big boy boost or something like that, because yeah, having to boost 3 times like that in a single war, that really hurts. I also pop another advanced power boost. Use so many of those boosts this war too. And yeah, man, we're just gonna go in here with Void. So the strategy, Void versus Thing, is you want to get him to exactly 15 rock stacks. You can push him over 15 if you're attacking into his block, and then he won't go unstoppable. But if he's at 15 and you attack into him regularly and he's not blocking, he'll go unstoppable and immediately punch you in the face. Now, there's a few things that I wish I had done better here. You can see I did a regular 5-hit combo there, where I should have done a 3-hit combo into special 1. That puts me a little bit behind in terms of timing. Right here is another great opportunity where instead of doing that heavy attack, I should have done a 5-hit combo into special 1. Or right here, 3-hit combo into special 1. I'm holding on to my special too much. I should be launching it earlier. And I'm also not attacking enough into his block. I was very concerned with timing out in this fight. As you can see, I'm really not doing that much damage yet. Every time Safeguard activates, that's reducing all of my damage, including that debuff damage. I got a pretty unfortunate order on the Petrifies. That's also slowing things down because he had willpower healing him. And yeah, I'm getting backed up against the wall a little bit here. So really just trying to keep myself out of the wall. You know, the unblockable, he has unblockable specials, and the specials, they don't hit that hard, but of course on a stacked node like this, they are going to hit pretty hard. Not only that, but his heavy attack is actually a pretty difficult animation to fully evade when you're up against the wall, at least. Of course, if you have distance, it's just like any other heavy attack, just back off a little bit and you'll be able to get your attacks in. And unfortunately, right here, I mistimed the evade on the heavy, and also the L2 just straight kills me. So that is my third death of this war. Someone else goes and cleans up that thing boss after my failed attempt, and we go on to tie. If I had soloed that thing boss, we would have won, but yeah, I just couldn't do it. So unfortunately, we do tie, which basically means both alliances lose. Nobody gets the victory points. And yeah, that was my worst war in several seasons, most expensive war by far. I don't think I've ever popped even 2 sets of the big boy boost in a single war, let alone 3 like that. So yeah, that was painful, guys. That was painful. Not only that, but I did use all those team potions, which I've been saving forever. I've been saving those things since like the Valor event way back in the day. But you know, it was a nice safety to have those things. Now I don't have them, and if I ever had to use those again, I would actually have to spend the units on them, which those things are super expensive. But that's it for this war. Hopefully you guys at least found the deaths entertaining. Good war to you guys over in MMXIV, and thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one. Take care.